Today is May 3rd. It'll be 17 days into us camping in the jail parking lot. Uh, this is where we slept. This is my truck with a generator. This is the rest of my family. It's been camping here in the parking lot because they beat my brother Mustafa. The correctional officer beat Mustafa on the 17th and again on the 19th. They kicked his Quran, they stepped on his prayer rug, they went in, they beat my brother, and while they were beating my brother, they were telling him Allah is gonna help you. While they were beating my brother. And then the jail refused to take my brother to the hospital. We came out, we camped out here to tell this jail, think twice before you do anything to my brother. He's got a family, and he's got a community that's watching what you do to my little brother Mustafa Al-Jazari. Today, my brother has a bond hearing, and I pray that the Lord grant my brother the bond. My brother has been in solitary confinement. He's been grieving the loss of his family in solitary confinement for over a year. They beat him, sexually assaulted him, all because last year we went to Internal Affairs and supplied them with evidence that the police officer falsified his statement on a police report. Today, we have a letter from Internal Affairs. A year later, we have a letter from Internal Affairs admitting that his police report was falsified. Correctional officer beat my brother and sexually assaulted my brother, and then the jail would deny my brother medical, all because we supplied Internal Affairs with evidence that the police officer, investigator Robert Jones, falsified his police report. This was May 24, 2023 of last year. My brother sat inside that jail with no sensation on the bottom of his feet, compounded fractures on his arm and leg, blurred vision, and he's been in pain ever since May 24, 2023 of last year. And then this year, when he comes forward along with two other inmates that witnessed a murder take place in front of him of an 18-year-old kid, Juan Campos, on the hand of a correctional officer, Eric Lindsay. After he talked to Detective Anderson, correctional officer would go again into his cell on the 17th and on the 19th again. The correctional officer would beat my brother to keep him quiet, so he doesn't talk about what he saw and what happened to this 18-year-old kid. And then deny my brother medical. This is why we've been camping here in the parking lot. We've been sleeping here. We weren't going home, we were sleeping here. Tell this jail, think twice what you do to my little brother. The community, he has a family, he has a community watching. Until today, they have not given him medical. Today is a bond hearing. I pray that the Lord grants my brother a bond so we can take him to the hospital. We live in the most beautiful community. We live in a beautiful community. Amy Ashworth, Commonwealth Amy Ashworth. The community entrusted you to do the right thing. Ma'am, do the right thing. It's been a year. You've been looking away from what's going on with my brother. You're a jail board member. You look into abuse inside this jail. It's your job to look into abuse inside this jail, but you have looked the other way. And the community is watching. The community is watching what you do to my brother and all the other inmates that I come across and got to know that are also being abused. And the community is watching. Do the right thing. The community entrusted you as the Commonwealth attorney, as a jail board member, to do the right thing. Grant my brother bond so he can go to the hospital. My brother is slowly dying inside this jail because correctional officer beat him up and the jail refused to send him to the hospital. Through my journey and being my brother's voice, I come to know a lot of people. I come to know Sheriff Tony at the courthouse, who always comes out and checks on my family. And he comes out here to the parking lot and he tells me, if your family wants to use the restroom, You're more than welcome to go into the building. He checks on my family. He makes sure that we're okay. There's a lot of police officers that serve and protect our community. And they wear a badge, they swear an oath, and they serve, and they put their life on the line every day. There's a lot of correctional officers that serve and protect these inmates. But we have a problem in our community. The problem is with a few that use that badge, that dishonor the oath, they are not serving and protecting. Instead, they use that badge to abuse our community. Investigator Robert Jones falsified my brother's police report. And today I stand here with a letter from Internal Affairs that he falsified my brother's police report, signed by the Chief of Police, Peter Newsham. Officers like Investigator Robert Jones should be held accountable, or otherwise we're not going to have a community. We're not going to have a safe community. Correctional officers like Walensky, Tipton, Daniels, Shannonfield, Suda, these correctional officers beat my brother, and they're not being held accountable. This jail should hold them accountable. This jail is within our community. They're abusing other inmates. If these correctional officers are not held accountable, we're not going to have a safe community. Correctional Officer Eric Lindsay, we told Amy Ashworth back in December about him, how he was abusing inmates, stripping inmates naked, sexually assaulting them, denying them medical. Him and other correctional officers. We told Commonwealth Amy Ashworth her job is to look into the abuse. She's a jail board member. And today we stand here with a reality where an 18-year-old kid is murdered on the hands of Correctional Officer Eric Lindsay. Commonwealth Amy Ashworth, this 18-year-old kid, his blood is on your hands. His mom says, I'm an American citizen, but I don't properly speak the language. I speak Spanish. And because I don't properly speak English, I feel like I don't have a voice in this country. And no one can hear about what happened to my kids. Well, ma'am, it's been 17 days and we've been here. My little brother Mustafa is your voice. The other two inmates that came forward is your voice. This community is your voice. We've been camping out here 17 days. The Lord worked through us, through everybody, to be your voice. And we're working to have a safe community. I've got a 3-year-old niece that's growing up in this county. And I pray that the Lord work through everything to keep our community safe. Keep my brother in your prayers. And I pray that my brother comes out on bond so we can take him to the hospital.